Growth, the process of increasing in size. A feature that is both individual, intrinsic, and throughout nature.
This is going to be so interesting, you know.
This is the moment we have been waiting for.
I'm feeling it now.
What has come before is now consigned to the history books. This new decade brings new challenges, new rivals, falling giants, and new beginnings.
Bang, bang, bang! 3 shots to the heart.
Oh, it's back in. Oh no!
Those who are climbing will meet. Who will fall by the wayside, and who will embody growth.
There's still wheel to wheel!
That is unbelievable!
League of Europe, grow or fade.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome to the League of Europe round number 7 for season 2 here on the PC side. It is Melbourne, Australia. My name is King Kodiak and I'll be your commentator throughout this evening's race. Right then, qualifying just getting underway, as you can hear in the background, just making sure all my windows are in the right place. As I tried to do, I have been joined in the box by the Badger Man himself. Guten Abend, Herr Austin.
Good evening. How are you doing, Kodiak?
I'm all the better for hearing your dulcet tones, sir.
Don't sound like that. Come on.
I'm always happy to see you. How are you, good sir?
I'm doing all right. I just had to make sure, because I've been dipping into a little bit of modding on F1 2020, that I had to validate my game files to make sure that I can actually join the server and spectate.
Jolly good. Right, qualifying is not long underway. It's very cloudy. So, as we were just seeing, I think that was Black Panther just coming out. 19 drivers on the grid for this evening's race. What are your thoughts about Melbourne?
About what, sorry?
About Australia.
You pronounced Melbourne in a weird way.
I was actually looking over my shoulder. I was doing something there. Oops, as we just seen Moritz fly off the road. Moritz is not having a good time at the moment. But yes, Melbourne, sir. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is one of the faster tracks on the calendar at around 227 kilometers per hour on the lap record, at least. It's slightly slower now because the lap record has been set 17 years ago. One of the longest, in fact, the longest standing lap record on the F1 calendar. Yeah, Michael Schumacher, one of the two actually lap records he still holds. Do you know what the other is?
I'm going to say a wild stab in the dark and say Hockenheim.
No, of the current calendar.
Current calendar.
Yeah, the F1 of the tracks on F1 2020.
Of the current.
Let's say that.
Well, again, I'm assuming it's going to be home ground, so we'll say Nürburgring.
Well, that's not on F1 2020 either.
Yes, it is.
No,
Is it?
F1 2020 does not have the Nürburgring in the game.
Not Nords. I'm not talking about the full Nordschleife circuit because everyone hasn't been there for many minutes.
No, but I know they had the Nürburgring in the season on the COVID calendar, so to speak. But it's not in the game.
Is it not? Goodness me.
No.
What is going on there?
But in the original calendar, it's not. It wasn't featured. There was no German Grand Prix originally planned for 2020.
Oh, blimey. What?
I give you a hint. I'll give you a hint to make it easier.
Go on then.
It's where LOE was racing last week.
Oh, has Snowball's been disqualified for going the wrong way?
Oh.
How the hell have you done that? And yeah, bravo. We didn't see that happen. Oh God, where were we last week? Shanghai.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the other one? Oh, okay.
That is the other record he still holds. Yes.
Okay. Because I was thinking, I know it's not Monza, because I think it's Montoya that holds that one.
No, it's Barrichello.
Oh, it was a Barrichello. Oh, beg your pardon. But well, still go back a long way. Okay, so let's have a look at who is where. Now we're seeing some times on the board, and Snowball seems to be forgetting which direction he should be going in. So Moritz trying to resume his grip at the top of the tree. Of course, we didn't see him last week, and we'd actually already lost the championship lead leading into last week's race. That is, if I just bring up my notes here, which is going to cause that to come up. It's actually Velo Velo was the winner last week, making it 7 from 7. Let me just bring up the. Yeah, I was rushed again coming into. Casu's left the session, so Casu's had trouble. We're looking very, and he's reappeared again. He was having a lot of trouble last time out as well. Kango did well. He came home third last time out. I think he's a reserve driver, but he's with us again. He's in the Haas. J. Cole was on the podium again last time. He was up 6 places. Actually, Kango was up 9 places. He started 12th and came home in 3rd. So he had an absolutely storming run. So look forward to seeing how he does. I need to bring up the points. Oh, goodness me. This is why I hate coming into. This is why I hate coming in rushed. Unfortunately, it was one of those moments where I was settling my youngster, and I suddenly looked at the clock and go, "Uh-oh, I need to be moving."
Yeah, it happens sometimes. I've been a little bit rushed today as well, obviously, as I always am.
You're always a very busy man.
Yeah, for the last 2 weeks, for tonight and for the next 2 weeks. After that, I will be a lot less rushed. As I'm finally entering the session. That took a long time. First, my controller wasn't working properly, so I had to disconnect it, reconnect it. Then I accidentally closed the invite, so I had to bring it back up. Now, finally, I'm actually in the session. Thank goodness. There we are. Alrighty, so, yeah, Snowball disqualified for going the wrong way. I'm a bit surprised at that.
You don't often see that one.
Yeah, I've seen it before, but not around here. I've seen it before where, if you, for example, if you spin, I've seen disqualifications. I think I'm audible in game for everyone right now. I shouldn't be.
You're certainly audible to me, so you should be audible to the stream.
Yeah, but it's showing my voice I don't want that.
Oh, as in the drivers can hear you. Oh,
Yes.
oh, we're all having
How do I turn that off?
we're all having technical troubles. I'm still rearranging Windows again. This is something I tried to do and have failed to do so far every week before stream. So I'm doing well on that front.
How do I turn that off? I don't want them to hear me. Apologies, drivers. If you can hear me, apologies. I tried to turn it off.
I don't know if they can, but there we go. Jake W is on a hot lap at the moment. Jake came in. Oh yes, he was one of our entrants at Russia, wasn't he? Came home 4th. We didn't see him at Monaco. He came home 5th last week, and currently sits 2nd in the timings, 19.3. Very, very well. Everywhere is just cloud. So is this a precursor to us having rain? And everyone is running soft tires. We're not seeing anyone run any harder rubber. I wonder, is that a precursor to rain, do you think?
It very well could be. I mean, I'm looking at the clouds.
Vino's just got a penalty for hitting Merckx. So I'm assuming there's bits missing of that McLaren as he's just jumped out of the way of one of the Hasses.
There are bits missing of Merck's car, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The McLaren actually seems... Nope, left side end plate also gone, yeah.
Yep.
So right side end plate for Merckx, left side end plate for Vino. You put one and one together, I think it was a sideways contact.
Yep, that would be either on pit lane exit or around turn 1, somewhere like that, judging on where Merckx was. Oh dear, oh dear. But Moritz is now down to 4th in the championship, and he's behind by 32 points behind J. Cole, who took over the championship lead from Merckx last time out with yet another podium under his belt. The winner was Velo, as mentioned, so we have 6 for 6, so 6 rounds, 6 different winners, which is great to see. J. Cole currently leads away, Merckx in 2nd, and Velo did briefly have pole there with the 19-1, but Moritz has just taken that back over with the 19 flat, so very, very close up top. But if it's going to be wet weather, that's really going to throw, as the English phrase goes, the cat amongst the pigeons. As a Kango was the one that rounded out the podium last time out, and that's a 2nd place for him. Ooh, what's that? 11 thousandths of a second behind Moritz. Wow, that's close.
That's a magnificent lap time right there from KangoCon, I have to say. I mean, that's incredibly close. But for someone only in his 2nd race here in League of Europe, that is a remarkable lap time. And I mean, he's got a podium in his debut last week, so you know he certainly made his presence known. But to back it up like that immediately, showing that it's not a fluke, that this actually makes him one of the favorites really here for at least another podium, maybe even the win.
New name that we haven't seen before, Crusader. Welcome to you, unless that's someone renamed. So welcome on board. Yeah, look at that. Moritz from Kango, from Velo, from Jacob, from Jake is our top 5. Merckx down to 6th. Now he's 2nd in the championship, but only by 4 points. And you don't often see him that far down the grid. But 7 minutes still to go. Still plenty of time for our drivers to get out there and get something done. People trying to leave it as late in the session as they can. Kango, I'm assuming he's done his time lap. J. Cole the same. Oh, Kasu is on it. Oh, Kasu's invalidated that lap, so he's coming in. Kasu's not normally in the Ferrari, so I think he's changed. What was Kasu running in? Yeah, Kasu was Williams previously. He's in the Ferrari this time.
Yeah, I think I know what happened. Because Snabold, actually, hold on. Is Snabold in the Ferrari still?
Snabold's Ferrari, yes.
Yeah, he is. Okay, so Snabold's teammate, Mick Fry, he's not here. He may have either changed teams as well, or I don't know what exactly went on there. But yeah, the Williams is empty. What used to be Kasu's Williams. I don't know if he's actually switched teams, but something's going on there. That's for sure.
J. Cole in the mud, apparently. Well, he's back in the pits now. Currently in 4th, 119.2. On a hot lap again is a J. Cole in the AlphaTauri. Screaming down towards, so we're in the final sector of the laps. He's coming through turn 13 now. I know these turns have names, but we don't often refer to them in their named form, so I've got the map with the track with the corner numbers on. So 15 and 16 now, final few turns. Is Jake going to improve? 5th position, 1:19.382. Does he improve? Oh, it's only a pole lap by 14 thousandths of a second. My goodness me, 4 drivers within a 10th. Well, Jake now leads Moritz, leads Kango, leads Velo. Oh, nice effort, sir.
Yeah, that is really close here. And Jake now completely cutting the parking lot there. Interesting line there, but he wants to get back to the pit lane as quickly as possible, and the drivers are allowed to do that. We're not that strict on the rules here that drivers get penalties for invalidating their in-laps or something. Who else is on a lap right now? Let's see. Ollie's
on one.
Romeo. Okay, Merckx is on one. Merckx is going to come across the line very soon, and he's half a tenth up on his own time. Wouldn't be a position right now, but would at least be an improvement. And Merckx, I think, desperately needs that in his battle against J. Cole here. As he rounds the final corner, maybe a good final sector. He certainly looked fast. Yeah, and he gains quarter of a second ultimately, 2/10 alone in the final sector. Ultimately, no position gain.
Indeed.
But very close to J. Cole.
Very close to J. Cole indeed. It's only 0.04 of a second that separates those two. It's a gain in time, but not position for Merckx. That gives him a bit more of a buffer between himself and Black Panther. His lap is done. Well, he's actually, I think he's fuel for another one, it would seem. Black Panther doesn't have his fuel light on, so I wonder if he's got some more fuel on board. Ollie, curiously, is just lapping. He's done 4 laps on those tyres. Again, that kind of leads me to believe he's not wanting to use the soft tyres, which you normally would for Australia, wouldn't you? Oh, yeah. Sniper's in the wall. He's binned it. He's reversing. What on earth are you doing? Oh, he's going for the pit lane entry. He's going for the pit lane. That's why he was reversing along the wall. I was thinking, what the hell's he doing?
No. I think it's very simple why he just wanted to not fall victim to the same thing that got Snowball disqualified. He didn't want to go the wrong way and get disqualified.
Fair enough. Sven in the second Mercedes is out there on a hot lap. He's just come through turn 12, down towards 13 now. DRS open, pushing that as hard as he dares. Oh wow, he's already got the fuel light on. He hasn't even hit the lap. It's very much do or die, all or nothing, and that's inbounds. Oh no, on the racing line. Oh, and Sven has bailed on it. Oh, now that was a little bit unlucky. I mean, it's an invalid lap now, but Sven, I think, will probably feel a bit aggrieved by that. But inbounds was just ready to start his own hot lap at the point that a wild Mercedes appeared. A bit unlucky, but I think inbounds should have really stayed off the racing line or got on with his own racing lap a little bit earlier. Easy for me to say. In comes Velo indeed. Black Panther's retired from the session. I think he brought his car back.
He won.
Oh, it is as well, an 18.915 for Velo, our last week's winner. 3rd place in the championship, 17 points behind J. Cole. Oh, what a statement of intent, and suddenly outlaps are plenty. Lots of people are now out doing their final laps, or setting up for their final laps. Black Panther and Sven have parked their cars. But what a lap from Velo. We see a break to the 9th, break into the 18 barrier. Nicely done.
Meanwhile, I'm looking at Lucky Finger here. He's already a 10th down on his own time, so it doesn't seem like he will be able to improve. But this is like rightful sort of the top 10 spots. The question is whether he even wants to improve. I mean, there is a benefit in starting P11 and getting that free choice of tire as he comes across the line, and no improvement, 10th down, no improvement in the final sector.
Yeah, Moritz invalidated his lap on the first turn, on Nissan turn 2. So he will not have time to do another one now, so he will start no higher than 3rd. I mean, it's not a storming lap he set, but he can, he will not beat that one. Lots of people on their out laps. I was looking at Exy before. Where is he? coming through turn, it's coming down towards turn 11 now. Sweeps through the left, through the right. Everything turned up to 11 and see what he can do. He is gaining on people ahead of him into turn 13. That's, I think, a Williams already ahead of him. Could be Merckx, who's ready to go. Well, it will be Merckx. He's the only Williams. Just realised that as soon as I said it. And, yep, it is indeed Merckx. But Merckx has got on with it. Here comes Exy. Can he do anything about it? 120.031. Currently sits him in 8th. Can he improve? Answer is he improved in time but not position. 19.8 is his time. That is all she wrote for the Red Bull.
Crusader up to P9.
Indeed it is. A 20.3 for the newcomer in the house. A decent effort there. Checkered flag is out. Moritz
has invalidated.
His lap time was indeed invalidated. That's a McLaren that's coming into the pits. Is that Jake Hull coming around the... Jake invalidated. Oh, he'll be gutted with that.
Mark Menier is the next one. He's currently without a time. He hasn't invalidated yet. I don't want to curse him, but I mean, he doesn't have the lap time, so it might very well happen here. Thankfully, it doesn't, but he's still got a couple corners left to go. As he really fights with the car here through the last slow corner. Is he going to take the last one flat out? That is the question. Yes, he does. It's a little bit of a struggle sometimes depending on your setup, but for him it seemed fine. 1 minute 20.5. He goes up to P11, which I think is something that he's going to be very happy with.
Oh! 100th of a second separating Kango and Velo. Jake has taken the new pole time. 18.809. A full 10th of a second ahead of Velo. What an effort from Jake there in the AlphaTauri. Oh my word. What a last-minute effort there. Merckx has come across the line. 119, 118 sees him in 5th position, pushing J. Cole down a spot. Does anybody else coming towards the line?
No, that's it.
That's like, yeah, someone's coming towards the line, I think. No,
that's a car that already finished.
Already done.
Session.
Yeah. Well. So the only one out there, well, I think everyone else is either done or heading back towards the pits. Yep. So my goodness me,
takes pole position.
That's
with just about a 10th to spare.
Look at that. But I mean, that was some lap. This track is quite a tricky one insofar as the calendar goes. What are your thoughts from a driver's perspective?
I mean, for me, it always tended to be quite a challenging track because it has so many fast corners where you can really just, you can easily mess up. Track limits are an issue here, especially, I mean, if you look at obviously the classic turn 11, turn 12, that fast sweeping chicane, it's just so tricky to get it right. And I think that's where you're going to see the biggest difference between the good and the great. Is so that section of corners right there at the start of the final sector.
Just 3 drivers getting into the 118s, Jake, Velo and Kango. Then Moritz 4, Merckx 5, Jake Cole 6, Cassie 7, Black Panther 8, 89, Crusader, who in chat is V8 Field. I do recognise that name. It says starting P9 means P10 means I'm faster than 9 other guys. That's typically how grids work. Mark Menier 11, Sven 12, Ollie was 13, and I was too distracted to read the rest. So we'll get to the grid. Is it raining? Is the first question. The Aussies do know what rain is, although they do tend to have Bernie says, well, it's dry at the moment, but again, there's still a lot of cloud out there. Ooh, are we in for a mixed race, I wonder?
Yeah, that being said now, since you mentioned that Crusader is V8 Field, it's not the first time he's here. He has raced in Britain 5 races ago, actually. The second round of the season.
Oh, he did? Yes, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Quite right, well spotted. Yes, he came home in 7th, 8th, I think.
I think it was 9th at the fastest lap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just trying to think. 3 points is unusual in the point scoring.
Although, that being said, I think his points are wrong because there's Lucky Finger with 2 points. So I think something isn't right there.
Unless the
point system different here.
It could well be. I haven't actually looked.
I think the points system is slightly different to the point where the top 12 get points.
Could well be.
Yeah, it is. So he was 10th. Okay, so he was 10th.
There we go. Mystery solved. So Jake then leads them away in the AlphaTauri. Mercedes of Velo in second. Kango in the Haas in third. Well, Jake has not taken a win yet. I was only joining us for round 4, from round 4, I should say. He was with us in Russia. He was with us last week. So he served 2 of the last 3 rounds that he's since he joined the league in that AlphaTauri. Velo, of course, has been with us since the beginning. Has only seen the podium twice, but last time out was the win. He played this master stroke in as far as the strategy was concerned. Kango, of course, is yet to see the top spot, but he's a reserve with us. As he rounded out the podium last week with a wonderful 3rd place in China, because that was his maiden race in the league. Merckx took the win and fastest lap in Canada, so he has seen the top spot. Of course, Moritz has. He opened his scoring, but his point scoring has not gone well. He started, first 3 races he was on the podium, then only scored 4 points in Russia, crashed out in Monaco, and wasn't with us in China. So it's been a bit of a tumultuous first half of the season for Moritz. Can he regain his previous form? We will see. A very different track is Australia. J. Cole, as mentioned, he leads the championship, 1 in Monaco. And Kasu recently going over to the Ferrari squad, or he's at least running in Ferrari colours. He's actually meant to. Well, not entirely certain, but that is where he is at the moment. Black Panther in 8th, Axie 9 and Crusader, or V8 Field, in that 10th position. What's the tyres running? Everyone except for Graham on the softs. So again, a curious mixture there. But let's actually switch that detail to not penalties, position change. Just waiting for
the difference between the tires here is about 1.1 seconds between the softs and the mediums.
Here we go. It is time to wind them up and let them go. And who's going to have the greatest start? Oh, half the field ghosted on my screen. Oh, what a stormer for Moritz. He's already up into second position. And the Mercedes is ghosted on my screen. That's really bizarre.
Yeah, it's the bug. Velo is in the lead now.
Oh, Velo.
Velo got Jake into turn 1, and now Moritz fancies a look on Jake as well. Is on the inside there, now on the outside for turn 4. This left-hander and gets hung out to dry. So Velo gets the lead here. The drivers are not ghosted on each other's screen, by the way, only for us.
There we go.
And they are fixing each other right now. Once Vino is passed, there we go. We are all back in the correct order. The same thing will happen at the start of lap 2, unfortunately. But for now, Velo got the lead off the line ahead of Jake and then Moritz.
Belting start there for the Mercedes. Was a good one for Moritz as well, as he's gained 1. Jake was, was a little bit mugged, wasn't he? Oh no, Merck! Disaster on the opening lap. In 4th position, he's now going to fall plummet through the field. He has had some technical trouble, hopefully, and Lucky Finger as well. Oh no, hopefully we haven't. Sven's gone. Oh dear. Are we seeing any kind of mass disconnect? Hopefully not. The field is still continuing. So hopefully these drivers will be able to return to us as Velo sweeps through the final turn to lead the field over the line for the first time. It's yellow in sector 3. We've got trouble with the McLaren. Oh no, that's a racing point on the back. Sniper's in trouble. And Lucky Finger has reappeared, thankfully, to see. And hopefully, there's Merckx. Hopefully Sven will be able to rejoin as well. Kasu and Kango. Kango's falling through the field. He's Kango's damaged, I think. Oh no, maybe possibly not. I thought he was missing an end plate. Well, because the end plate's black, it's difficult to see at range.
By the way, we lost our timing here because one of the drivers has taken control of their car again. I think that would be Lucky Finger. He was the first one to rejoin. I think Merckx is now back in his car as well. I want to quickly see to make sure. Yes, he is.
And there's
Sven is now rejoining too. So Sven should be taking control of his car any moment now as well. He's still not in it, but should be any moment now. I'm keeping an eye on it. But we should be back with all drivers shortly.
Top 3 are breaking away a little bit. Velo leads Jake, leads Moritz now. J. Cole is, there he is in the Red Bull. Kasu's had a decent run to hold on to that 5th position. A disastrous start for Kango, as well as obviously those that have had to regain their car. Moritz right in there, keeping his fight alive. Some distance to go, of course, 29 laps of this circuit, and if we have got rain involved in the race, we don't know. We've no idea what the weather is doing. Velo is in prime position to make it the first driver with 2 wins in the season, and if he does win, it will be 2 on the bounce for the Mercedes driver. That will be absolutely ideal for him in his championship charge. A bit heavy on the brakes there for Moritz, but keeps his car. Oh, go on.
Speaking of the Mercedes, the other Mercedes here, Sven, has retaken control of his car, but right as he was about to be passed by Lucky Finger, so they were ghosting in between each other a little bit here. Sven has kept the position and is going to fight back from 15th in the field now. Lots of work in front of him.
Very much so. So then, top 3 are minding their own business. There's Jacob, 4th, Cassie 5, and Kango in 6th. So Kango starting to get back into his rhythm. There's Black Panther. He's up 1 from his start. Mark Manier's up 3 from where he started. So decent start for him. XD and Crusader remaining where they started. They're involved in their own fight for 9th position. There is Merckx, who's of course one of our disconnected drivers, who's now reappeared. Trouble in sector 3. Oh, not Sniper again. It is indeed. Sniper is in trouble again. Of course, now that we have the track map, we can identify who's in trouble, so you won't get away with it, I'm afraid. But Velo doing a great job in maintaining the lead under a lot of pressure from Jake. Jake is nailed to... Oh no, Sniper in trouble again. Oh dear. He won't thank me for keep looking at him whenever he's in trouble. Is he going again? Oh, he has got his car going again.
Yeah,
so
he's going again.
Bit of a gap forming as well between Moritz and Jake. So is Moritz just biding his time, maybe trying to extend the life of his tyres, or is he actually struggling to keep up with his blistering pace from the top 2, I wonder?
Yeah, it almost looks like it's the latter here, but then again, at the same time, Moritz should have DRS now. That should keep him at least close to Velo. Obviously, if he loses touch to these two, I think they're just going to drive away for the other 25 laps that are left at the end of this one, and they will just battle this out between them unless there is a safety car, which is always a possibility, especially with the walls as close as they are here.
Oh, Jake!
Jake!
That was a great effort.
He's still there.
He is indeed still there. 2 penalties on the board. Oh, Velo determined to hang on to him, but well defended, but could not hold on. Jake with an outside manoeuvre around the penultimate turn takes over the lead, but that's brought Moritz right back into the fight now. DRS open on the Alpha. Can he do anything about Velo? Well, Velo's going to have DRS and safety off for Jake. Thought about it into turn 1, but no.
No, Velo had no DRS. I think across the point, across the detection point, they were exactly equal.
Trouble in sector 1. Who's in trouble? That is Kasu. Oh no, Kasu's had trouble. There he is. Trying to spin turn, but because he doesn't want to get anybody's way. I'm sure he goes. Oh no, Kasu's been disqualified. He was trying to recover his car, but sadly the game has deemed that he was going the wrong way. Oh, that is a shame for Kasu. Oh my goodness me. And he is, well, I don't blame him for leaving the session, frankly. But his day is done, his race is run. Exy, my goodness me, you weren't kidding when penalties would be a bit of a thing. And they certainly are.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect the disqualification, to be quite honest. And
no,
if I may just speak a little bit frankly here, I think it's a shame because I looked at Cassie. He was doing the right thing.
He was,
from a racing driver's perspective, which is to wait until he can safely re-enter the track. And the game decides, oh, he's not doing anything. Well, he gets disqualified. It's just not how it should be. And I hope that in future games, the disqualification algorithm is a little bit more tender and not as strict as it is right now. Because again, Kasu did the absolute right thing. He has nothing to apologize for. And the game decides, well, you're just standing there, you're not doing anything. Yet he can't rejoin when there's drivers coming every second and a half. Medium
tyres for Mark Manier. He's come out of the...
That's a 2-stop.
It's got to be, isn't it? Yeah, it's
or rain.
medium tires. If you had rain coming, you just bought another set of softs, wouldn't you?
Well, not if you expect the rain to come in about 15 laps.
Well, right at the end, yeah, I guess so.
Although at the same time, if you do expect the rain to come sort of around lap 20, you'd probably pit on lap 10 for another set of softs. So
I have lost connection to Steam.
Oh no, my migrating host.
Oh no!
I'm gonna re-invite you.
And what I was just about to click on my spare invite from J-Col, and he's also disappeared from Steam. So right,
Hey, he's still in the game though.
Well,
It says migrating hosts again. I think someone else left. What is going on with Steam today?
Oh, Steam died yesterday as well. I was just about to have a league race of my own. So,
Is it because of Forza Horizon now being on Steam? Did that crash the servers altogether? Oh, Velo spins off! Velo on the exit of turn 2, completely unprovoked, spins into the wall, loses his front wing.
Oh no!
Almost all together, and he is now down to 7th, 8th. Merckx is getting him. Oh my goodness! It's all come undone for Velo. He was on pace to get a P2.
Re-invite.
I sent you an invite.
I know, it didn't work. Send me another one.
Oh my goodness
me.
Poor Velo. Completely unprovoked. There was no one alongside him. He just was too aggressive on the throttle, I guess. On the exit of turn 2. Very, very weird one. He's lucky to not be... Oh my god, now he's bouncing around. Oh, okay, I think he may be desynced for someone. It's still saying migrating host.
Yeah,
cars are mounting each other. Crusader is mounting Velo. This is not PG. Thankfully, you're not catching that.
No, indeed. Well, I can't rejoin the session, so I'm going to relaunch the game here, but it does sound like this race has been utterly mullered by some kind of sync or Steam problem.
Yeah. It's showing right now that Vino is leading when he clearly isn't.
When he was down in 19th or 18th or something like that, when I vanished.
He's 17th, there we go. He just made it across the first sector line on his lap, and now he's reappearing in 17th where he should be, so he's slightly desynced there as well. But Velo now in the pit lane, obviously. Velo is actually desynced because it's showing him on the straight when he is definitely in the pit lane. So that's a bit weird. Something is going on there. Something is not right with Velo. And it's the migrating host issue, I think. I don't know what the rules are here in LOE. He is okay. Now he is synced properly again, I think. But he's still showing on his 5-level soft, so as if he didn't even get new tires. Just a new front wing.
Please. Another invite, please.
I don't know what the rules are here at LOE on a race restart, but I think the amount of issues that we're seeing here, where it still says migrating host for me, by the way, I think might warrant a restart of this race.
I wouldn't be at all surprised, but until such time as we get that kind of confirmation, I seem to be unable to rejoin as I'm trying again after restarting the game, and yep, it still won't have it. So at the moment, we're just going by a radio commentary from Mr. Badgerman here.
Yeah, I've done it before. It's not the first time. As Moritz is now in the pit lane. No, sorry, Jake is in the pit lane, and he's going the wrong way. Yeah, everything's desynced. Holy, everything's completely. He's going the wrong way in the pit lane. Now he's exiting the pit lane. Once again, it doesn't update the tires, but a lot of drivers pitting early apparently. As Jake is now down to, I'm not sure if that's actually 10th or that's just desynced 10th. Now it's 9th. But Kango caught us desynced into 17th, which surely isn't right. So yeah, everything's going to shambles. I don't know what exactly is going on. It still says migrating host for me, by the way. I wonder if every 5 seconds a new migrating host pops up.
It's like the game can't find a new host. Yeah, I wonder if that's why probably, I can't rejoin. Is of that particular issue. Oh, now J-Call has finally reappeared on Steam for me.
It's something.
And now he sent me and he was miraculously able to send me an invite when apparently he wasn't playing the game in the first place. So that's amazing.
Well, he is playing. He is still racing. So he's inside Moritz. They are ghosted, at least on my screen. But yeah, Moritz. Hold on a second. I think KangoCon is actually leading right now, as he didn't pit yet. Yeah, as he didn't pit yet. Vino has pitted and is showing in the lead. Also, the lap counter doesn't go up. We have issues. It still says lap 7. It's not lap 7 anymore.
Okay. I have been informed that they are going to do a full restart. So
yeah.
Not really surprised, quite frankly.
No, I'm not surprised either.
That all disintegrated pretty hard.
There's a lot of weirdness going on right now, and yeah, I think a restart is probably the right choice here. We need dedicated servers, that's the one thing I can say.
Well, we'll go through it all again, I suppose. Yeah, I'm just going to have to wait for... I'm assuming everybody's leaving that lobby, are they?
I just did, so I can't even reach... I can't even give you radio commentary anymore.
Yeah, I had the message from J. Cole, who's the leader of the PC side for League of Europe, and he said going to have a full restart. He did get disconnected as well. He confirmed. So I'm not going completely mad. Not yet, anyway. I'm working on it. Okay, so I've had another invite sent to me. Hopefully, this is for a new lobby.
I mean, it has to be.
It is indeed. So there we go. I'll ping one over to you, Senor Badger.
I already have one.
Well, have another.
I appreciate it. There you go.
Well,
failed to join the session. There you go. I needed that other one.
It's all gone wrong. So I'm curious.
There we go.
They're not going to run qualifying again. So
because the qualifying had no issues.
Yeah, so they will build the grid manually. We're not just going to go with a random grid. Some drivers, I'm sure, would be game for that.
Jake certainly wouldn't be. I tell you that much. No. He's a pole sitter, so he would not be okay with that whatsoever.
I tell you what, Velo, I bet you was breathing a big sigh of relief from what you were saying that he had that unforced error. I bet you he is very happy that we get to go again. Now, weather is also being defined, so weather is set to custom. So we're not going to have random weather.
Okay. That tells us there was rain coming at some point in the previous race.
I reckon so.
Because otherwise they would have set it to overcast. If it was just overcast the whole race.
Yeah.
Although it could be that the weather would have gone from sort of... I mean, it was cloudy, overcast conditions at the start. So it could be that the weather would have gone from overcast to sunny to clear. That could be the case as well. We don't know ultimately what they've put in there. What J. Cole obviously has put in there. But it's trying to replicate the weather conditions of what the previous race forecast showed. And so we don't know. If one of the drivers wants to tell us in the YouTube chat, that would be very much appreciated. But no requirement.
I think it's full cloud, no rain from what Jake was telling me. Yeah, they're running the same again. So it's a bit of a disappointment. I was just thinking, is that going to really spice things up, having some rain at the end? But would seem not. So just waiting for the drivers to return to the session. We have 18 of them. Who did we lose? Oh, Snowball, wasn't it? We lost early on. Has he reappeared?
I think he has not. He's the one he's
the one we're waiting on then. So again, he may not actually be aware that the lobby is being rehosted. So,
by the way, I just realized my flag is Danish.
Okay,
that's what you get for playing around with mods. Because there's a flag mod, because obviously Kevin Magnussen is not racing in F1 in 2021. And I was using a 2021 mod, and I had to change the flag, the Danish flag, to a German flag for Mick Schumacher. So in order to appear German myself, I had to choose the Danish flag, and now with everything being reverted, yeah, now I'm Danish apparently.
I'm in Vendutaladutsk.
I cannot speak a word of Danish, don't try. I have never been able to, and I probably won't ever be able to, so...
That's about it. That's all I know. That's all I can remember. The first sentence was, hi, my friend, do you speak Danish? And the second thing I said was, I'm sorry, I'm English, I don't speak much Danish. Which, when I was trying to teach myself Danish many years ago, I thought I'd better learn that one in case anybody ever asked me. But I've never, I've never been back out there. I have been out to Denmark to visit some friends of mine, but yeah, never been back. So, and I'm hopeless at learning foreign languages, and I'm told, well, I can confirm that Danish is very hard. Very difficult to learn.
Yeah, Danish strikes me as one of the more difficult languages. Certainly more difficult than English. I think that's for sure. English is one of the easiest languages, which is very good because you need it. Everyone really needs it in this day and age. If you don't speak English in 2021, and let's say you're under 40, you're really not going to have a good time.
A lot of English people don't speak English. They speak some mashed up version that pretends to be English.
There are some accents over in the UK that they have me struggling for comprehension. So
yeah, but doesn't every country have that? I mean, you're of German descent. If I remember this right, did you live in America for a while, or you have an American?
No. I've never even been to America.
Oh, okay. But don't you have an American link in your lineage somewhere?
No.
No, I remember that. Wrong. So you're born you born and grew up in Germany.
Yes.
But you have regional accents, don't you? You have north or different.
Yeah, we
areas.
We do, and there are some accents, especially if you go to certain rural places. The two that immediately come to mind in Germany are Bavaria and Saxony. Mm-hmm. Where if you go to rural places there, even as a German native speaker, you might have some trouble understanding what's going on. It's quite remarkable. Only in the rural areas. The moment you get to a little bit more urban. Yes, they're still going to have quite a strong accent, but at least as a native speaker, you're going to be fine. And even if you've learned German well, you should be able to understand most of it at least. Snaybolt has now joined, so we are complete again.
Yeah, I just had a message that
we'll choose his car. By the way, is Kasu in the...
He's in the Williams this time. I bet you that was a mistake. I bet you that he got that wrong. I bet you he joined and forgot to change his car.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, he forgot to choose a car, probably.
Or that.
And so the game had, there was a 50% chance he could get a Williams. He got the other 50%,
and he failed,
which was a Ferrari because Mick Fry isn't here. So there was only a Williams and a Ferrari available. And the game says, well, the Ferrari is higher up the order. You get that one.
Bravo, you win.
Yeah.
So
I mean, some would consider that an upgrade.
True enough. I mean, again, as a reminder, the car performance is set to equal, so what colours they run is irrelevant. It's just visual differences. And audio. There are slight car engine noise difference, but you have to be quite anorak to really spot them in range.
I mean, I would disagree with that. I think the noises.
You're more familiar with it from this. I've never driven in F1 2020. I've only ever commented.
Yeah, I've raced these cars for 6 seasons of 100% races.
So you've listened to the engine tones much more.
Yeah, and some of them are quite annoying, and some of them are quite nice to listen to, which is why my engine choice in my team has mostly been shaped by the sound of the engine, as opposed to how good it actually is.
That's fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, you can tell by the sound. Like if you listen closely, obviously, if you have a lot of experience like I do with these engine noises, you know which one is which engine sounds like what. Whereas, but you can tell differences between the different engine suppliers. So for example, the engine in a Haas and the engine in Alfa Romeo and the engine in Ferrari sound exactly the same because they're all Ferrari engines.
Ferrari
but
engines,
even like from the chassis, there's no difference there in the engine sound. So they just clocked in the same engine sound. Here, there you go, done. And the same is true, obviously, with Williams, Racing Point, and Mercedes. But yeah, so you can tell that apart between those two, between a Mercedes and a Ferrari engine. The Honda, to me, sounds the best.
Oh, not the Lotus.
What?
Yeah,
That's not a Lotus engine.
I know. It's just that was referring back to your stream that I saw the other day, where you were talking about the modding and the fact that the folder structure dates back. What was it? 2013. It dates back to, or something like that.
Something like that. Maybe even 2010, to be quite honest.
Wow. So we're just waiting for. We have lost a driver again, so I think we're waiting for them to rejoin. Yeah. So apologies for the delay. We will get this second attempt at the race going. I would imagine the grid has been built, ready to go, other than whoever it is that's just vanished. It's not stable.
I'm trying to find who it is.
I'm hopeless at that. I can never, unless the list is really short. I can never look at a list of 19 drivers and tell you which one is vanished.
Yeah, I'm looking for the cars mostly. I'm trying to identify the cars. Which one is missing? I think. Is it one of the racing? Oh, actually, 2 drivers are leaving now.
Uh-oh. That's not.
Yeah, we're losing a couple more.
That's never good.
Yeah.
Ooh, we lost
really
this
isn't,
time.
I think.
So we have 2.
Oh, we keep just looking under driver. Oh my god, yeah. So one of the McLarens, that would be the lucky finger of Vino. So that would be Vino. He's back. The other one is an Alpha Tauri. That is then not Jake because is it Jake? No.
No, Jake's in.
It is Black Panther. There he is.
Perfectly timed.
Well.
Perfectly timed. Just as he rejoined, you identified who that was. Well done, sir.
See,
right.
This makes me think there's actually such a thing as a commentator's curse because I mean that kind of power. In this case, it didn't hurt anyone, thankfully. But you know, say the name, they appear. I say the other name, they appear. Both Vino and Black Panther. The moment I said it, boom, they're in. And yeah, I think as commentators we have tremendous power.
Would be nice, wouldn't it? Right. We are. Let's get rid of the background music. We are heading
telekinesis, I think it is called.
That's the ability to move objects. So.
I mean, I kind of moved players into the lobby, you know?
Can you imagine that? They just involuntarily rejoin the session. I'm not doing this! It's not my hands! Oh, that would be quite a scary power for a commentator to have.
Yeah. Gotta be responsible with it.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes.
Right, back in the room,
the grid is completely set. I have the actual grid that we started on in the previous lobby in front of me. So if we see any discrepancies, I think we should let J. Cole know immediately.
We can do. We'll get to the grid when everybody readies up. So 19 drivers again for this second attempt at Melbourne. I can't tell you the last time I had to do this in an F1 game. I have had to do it. I have had to commentate a restart, but it has been quite some time. So do we have the correct grid? So Jake should be our pole man.
I can tell you for me, it hasn't. Well, on F1 it has been a while, but I was commentating a GT Sport event a couple of weeks ago, where there was a rule that if it was sprint races, like 4 or 5 lap races, really just. And almost a rallycross style, but on actual tracks. It was quite fun. It was good.
So what just made me laugh is Jake's just gone. He's just like, right, I've had enough of this waiting around nonsense. Come on, get on with it. Sorry, you were saying.
To be fair, can I just say this is the best way to warm up the tires?
Or just get on with it.
Yeah, just go. Just get them, like, the higher the speed, the easier it is to get them up to temperature. So, I understand where he's coming from. Let me just quickly check the grid. I think we are fine. Yes, everything's correct.
Broadly looks correct. And everyone has gone for their original tyre choices from last time. Graham again, the only one with the medium tyres. Indeed. Now we know there's no rain. I'm even more curious on why almost everybody went for softs. Whoop, as Jake has just detonated a bollard in the middle of that turn 11 and 12 complex. As I need to rearrange my windows again.
Yeah, the interesting thing here to me is generally this track is a soft to medium one stop. If you can make the tires last long enough, the in-game data suggests the softs last 12, the medium lasts 17 laps, the race is 29 laps long. You do the math, works out perfectly. The hards last 23 laps, but are only half a second slower than the medium. So if you're not sure, if you don't want to risk a puncture possibly, if you don't want to risk anything like that, you can go for a soft to hard strategy. Again, the difference is only half a second between the mediums and the hards, so you don't lose that much time. And because the hards are a lot more durable towards the end of your stint, you're going to be a lot faster than the medium runners. So the crossover point, if you pit lap 12 on medium, so lap 12 on the hards, the crossover point should be coming around lap 22, 23. So you still have 5-6 laps where it's going really well for you.
Here we go, time to wind him up and let him go really short hold on a terrible start for Casso. He just didn't go anywhere when the lights went out. Oh, we're nearly 4 wide coming into turn 1. Kango this time is the one that's had the monster start. Jake is using this to an advantage and running off into the distance. Kango in second. Max is third, Velo fourth, Moritz in fifth position. There's several 2 wides going into that turn 3 first major break zone. Kongo has managed to make it through. Max in third, Velo has not been able to repeat his monster start from the first round as the, well, we know this routine by now, the whole tower sorts itself out, but look at Jake. He is well, comparatively, he is gone, but will he be able to maintain that kind of pace? We know how quick Kango is, but of course he's got, well, he's got everybody, of course, behind him, but some very, very quick drivers. Trouble. Oh, no.
Graham.
Oh, Graham this time. Oh, dear. So he couldn't get those, well, getting those medium tyres up to temperature is not easy in the best of times, but he's had that early spin. The back of the field beginning to spread out a bit. Oh no, trouble. Oh no, that's Snowballed. Snowball's gone round. That's oh, and he's recovered the track, but I mean, he is ghosted, so it would have distracted Graham a little bit, but no physical impact there was possible. But look at the AlphaTauri, Jake using this to his advantage and running off into the distance. But what can Velo do? Whoa, no! Marlinier, yeah, we just saw that at the range. Oh, he's lost a big chunk of his front wing. We just saw the long camera angle, him almost sideways on the exit of the final turn. So, a disastrous run for him. But 1.5 seconds is the lead Jake has over Kango. And Merckx is not too far off the back of Kango, so Kango can't just relax and concentrate on what's in front of him. But the field much more condensed this time. It was the top 3 that managed to run off last time. It's really second down to 8th that are in that particular train at the moment.
Yeah, I gotta say, Jake just doing a fantastic job here so far. I mean, if we look at the season so far, you remember this little streak that we have going here: 6 winners in the first 6 races. Mm-hmm. Well, this is race number 7.
Yeah.
Jake hasn't won a race yet, so
wow,
he could keep this up.
Moritz on lap 2 has managed to get a penalty on the board. He was challenging Velo briefly there on the exit. Oh, crikey. On the exit of turn 13. Couldn't quite get the move done, but already has got himself a 3-second penalty. I mean, we saw those penalties rack up quite badly in the first attempt, but Jake is just flying. Away he goes. As unfortunately my Steam messages appear over the top of my game, which is annoying. They shouldn't do that, but never mind, nothing I can do about it. Marmonier in the pits, that's not a surprise. Is he going to go hards, I wonder? Would they last?
I mean, at this point, you have to go for a two-stop. Even the
Not
hards
at
will
all.
make it to the end. As mentioned before, 23 laps. He is going hard. He's going to try it, it seems, but it's risky. It's
It
risky.
is.
He's going to have to hope for a safety car, really, at this point. That's the only thing that could save him, which isn't very unlikely, to be quite honest. But either he hopes for a safety car, or he really makes sure that these tires are kept in the best condition they can be in. He really takes care of them. He is allowed around just under 3% of tire wear per lap on the worst, on the most used tire, which around here should be either front left or the rear left. He's already in the grass again. Oh my goodness, it's not going well for him.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, and then he did it again. But he's still going nonetheless. So, Kango trying to shake Merck off as they come around to complete lap number 3. Can Jake continue his great pace? I think Kango now starting to get into his stride a little bit as that gap's come down by a couple of tenths. Velo really is very, very close to losing DRS off the back of Merck as Jake now gets on the penalty board, trying to chase Moritz down. Although he's... Moritz very close to the back of Velo as they come through turn 3. The Alfa Romeo gets a bit twitchy on the exit coming through turn 4. He's really been hassling Velo. Sadly, the Mercedes has not been able to recapture that form he had during the first attempt of this race. There's Graham and Vino are having a great argument for 16th position, we can see on the tower. And look at that, Moritz all over the back of Velo. Go on.
Moritz with a massive slide there through turn 10. Did well to not put the car into the wall there, but certainly that lost him a bit of momentum on Velo, so no chance for him to overtake. One thing to note here with the DRS zones, we have 3 DRS zones on the main straight, on the straight towards turn 3, and here on the back straight right before turn 13. However, only 2 detection points. So the first 2 DRS zones are both administered by the same detection point. Very important to get that one and stay within a second of another car right there.
Sven, Crusader, and Ollie having a great scrap. 3-way scrap for the last championship point of 10th place. Sven's made it through at the moment, but plenty can still change. Ollie with the DRS thinking about a move on the inside of Crusader. Doesn't make it happen into turn 1 at the moment. Black Panther is very close, side by side indeed, to the Red Bull of X. He doesn't get it done down there at turn 3. That's really putting the pressure on. Kasu's not far behind, although I think he's had a bad run out of that particular corner, so he's going to lose some time there. But Black Panther doing a great job holding on to the back of XE. Black Panther's not had a bad run of form. He didn't start. We didn't see him in the first 2 rounds, but still regular points since then. Just trying to keep an eye. There's quite a few trains going on. I'm a little surprised actually that second down to what is now 6th with XE falling off the back of J. Cole are still in a relatively condensed group. That's a bit surprising considering what we saw last time. Graham now on the penalty board in 16th position in the Racing Point. Look at this, it's almost like Kango is the cork in the bottle, but that would be very unfair to say because there's 7 tenths in between Kango and Merck, as you can see there. If anything, Merck is the one that's keeping Velo at bay, but that's the nature of the circuit. It can develop these kind of driver trains where the DRS just keeps people in play. That's what 1.6 seconds looks like on this track, as we just saw Jake come through the shot, extending that lead a little bit from last time around. Crusader now with a penalty on the board. It'll be easier to say who doesn't have a penalty at this rate by the end of the race. Oh no,
nature of this track
Marvin is out.
Virtual safety car coming out.
Yeah.
Which means all the gaps should increase a little bit, but they should also decrease again once we get back to green flag running. So don't be surprised that it's jumping up and down a little bit here and there. It's going a bit higher now. But once the drivers are back under green, the gaps might actually change a little bit depending on when the green flag is being waved again. And there it is. Oops. So it should actually, it's gone a little bit up for Jake on Kango. Reason being that Jake was close to the next corner, and so he was able to immediately accelerate to make it through that corner, whereas Kango was still on a straight and had to accelerate from low speed towards the next corner, and so it took him a little bit longer to get there and get back up to racing speed.
So it looked like oh, Crusader's out! Oh no! And Marmon is
wait, that's turn 14. What did he do there?
What? Oh, what on earth? That's a very strange place to have an incident. Very
it really
weird.
is.
As Moritz has got himself another penalty on the board. So his race is really not going well. Merckx is right with Kango now. Kango really did lose a good few tenths off the back of that virtual safety car, unfortunately. And Vino now with a 5 second speeding of the pit lane penalty. So, oh dear, it's not going well for him. The McLaren in the pits along with Snaybolt. So did they have their own incident? We won't really know. What tyres has the McLaren gone to? Is medium? No, that's hard tyres on the McLaren. And
they can definitely make it to the end from here. Mediums would not be able.
So that was either repairs or a drive-through penalty for Snaybolt because he hasn't changed tyres. And Moritz has just lost a position to J. Cole. So after challenging Velo for 4th, he now finds himself in 6th place. So Moritz's race is going from bad to disastrous.
Yeah, he's really struggling right now. He is taking the necessary step here to make sure he gets out of this train. That is to pit right now. And I think as well he should be going on to the hards. Again, the mediums only last about 17 laps. The hards last 23. So right now, and again, the hards only half a second slower. So certainly a viable option to get out of a train like this. Get the undercut. The hards aren't that bad. And he might be able to get some positions out of this.
Slightest brush with the wall, and that was what claimed Crusader. And it doesn't need hard tyres for Moritz. So now, like you say, an undercut is not a bad idea, especially with Kango, Merckx, and Velo in this really tight train, all scrapping for their own positions. 2.3 seconds is the lead that Jake has got himself now. Whoops, as Velo gets a bit of a twitch coming through turn 9. So
yeah, and one thing to know probably for the viewers, possibly a good idea. You lose around 22 seconds here in the pit lane. So if you just want to calculate, for example, if Jake pits right now, he would re-emerge behind Lucky Finger ahead of Sniper. Maybe even ahead of Lucky Finger. It's going to be close there, but certainly behind Ollie, ahead of Sniper, and with Lucky Finger, it could be close either way. But he's not pitting. Just as an idea, 22 seconds. One of the main factors for that being as high as it is, the average on the F1 calendar is around 20 seconds, is that this is a slower pit lane. This is the 60 kilometers an hour, 37 mile per hour pit lane, not the 80 or 50 mile per hour limit. So we have the reduced pit limit here. As J. Cole and Velo both in the pit lane. This is going to get close with Moritz, I think.
And both on hard tyres as well, as Merck has just nailed Kango. I don't think the Haas was expecting that, but the Williams just banzaied that one on the inside of turn 4. Nicely done.
Yeah, Moritz got J. Cole, but not Velo, and Sniper is right in the thick of things.
Oh no!
Sniper comes right into the front of Moritz, and they make contact. And I think Moritz may have damage here.
Oh yeah, he does.
End plate gone, and has to let J. Cole by here. Really, not much reason to fight it, but that is just very, very awkward there. Between Sniper and Moritz, and I'm pretty sure Moritz is not happy about that one.
I suspect the stewards are going to have a few things to do with another penalty for Moritz just to make his day even worse. Exy now on the penalty board. So my prophecy about there being less drivers without penalties at the end of the race is slowly coming to fruition. Is Jake going to come in? No. What about Merckx? Is he coming in? Nope. And neither does Kango. So our top 3.
I think at this point, if Merckx, Jake has the option still, but if Merckx or Kango come in, they will be behind Velo at this point. So they're saying, you know what, we're gonna go on to mediums instead, and we're gonna try to go for a soft to medium one stop, which will make an overtake on the likes of Velo and possibly J. Cole. quite a lot easier than going for hards right now when they're just behind and the difference isn't that much. The ship has sailed, I think, for at least P2 and P3 for a softer hard strategy.
Fair point. Black Panther and Sven have both opted for the hard tires. Sniper and Moritz have both come in. Medium tires for Moritz. I mean, fair play to Moritz. He hasn't just thrown in the towel. I think we've all faced that kind of situation where you just think, well, I'm never going to recover from this. I'll just rage quit out. But fair play to him. He's continuing. And Sniper is going to come out on the hard tires. There he is. So everyone that's pitted has opted for the hard tyre. The only two on the medium tyres are Graham and Moritz. Moritz, of course, just going onto them, and Graham starting on those medium tyres. Here's Kango on the back of Merckx. So we're expecting them to go a few more laps. Oh, just like I say that, Jake actually is in. So he just went one extra lap there.
As I mentioned, the ship has sailed for Merckx and Kangaskhan, not so much for Jake. He can still go on medium, on hards, and he does.
He does.
He will re-emerge ahead of J. Cole and ahead of Velo for certain, probably by around 3 seconds. Maybe 2.5. Here comes Velo. And yeah, there's Jake quite far ahead.
Yeah.
That is about 2.5, 3 seconds. We're going to see the gap as soon. Yeah, it's about 2.5. Yeah.
It's almost like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it's almost like I understand how pit stops work.
Great stuff. Well done, sir. Oh, goodness me.
I do my research.
And one thing we always talk about is preparation when you come to the commentary box. It just goes to show we do know what we're talking about. Helicam shot of Merckx and Kango currently leading the way. Merckx is about 6/10 or so behind. Well, he's actually just closing to within 5/10 of Merck now as they continue to work their way through. Will they pit in this time, or will they stretch it out another lap?
I'm gonna tell you right now. If I was Kangaskhan, my thinking would have been, I'm gonna do whatever Merckx doesn't do. Always do the opposite in this sort of scenario. But Merck got himself a 5-second penalty, so that sort of vindicates Kangaskhan a little bit again, because Kangaskhan now technically is ahead of Merck after the penalty, obviously. But no, I would have gone for whatever Merck doesn't do. If Merck goes in, I stay out. If Merck stays out, I go in. But he had other plans, other ideas. And Ollie, I was gonna say Ollie is leading the race. Well, he was for a split second there, but got immediately overtaken by Jake, who has already made his pit stop while Ollie didn't. So they can see sort of the pace difference. And by no means, I gotta say this just to be very clear, by no means is Ollie slow. I think he could smoke me in a 1v1. But yeah, Jake is, I mean, F1 Esports Series Challengers drive. I mean, it's just, he's one of the best on the PC platform, and he shows it right here. And you see Velo 3 seconds down and struggling with that curb there. Lost himself about 1/10.5 just off of that curb compared to Jake. Has to use a bit of ERS to come back and make sure that he doesn't lose that much time. Get some DRS now, that should help him a little bit. But yeah, it seems like Velo is struggling a little bit. And he's going to struggle some more because his older tires are not as quick as Merck tires. I think the difference between the two is about 7 to 8 tenths right now, with Merck tires being basically completely fresh and Velo's being sort of 3-4 laps old now. Merck should have a bit of an easier time to get past Velo right now. He has to make that move, however, as quickly as possible.
We'll see what he does. Velo holding on to that second position for now as they head towards the next heavy braking zone. 2.9 seconds, the gap between Jake and Velo. And Velo still keeps Merck at bay. And there's Kango as well. So Kango was second for a fair amount of time until Merck overtook him before the pit stops. Let's actually get on board with Kango because he's got a great view of the battle ahead of him. That is the battle for second place. Trouble in sector 3. That is going to be Cupid. Yeah, there he is. He's had an argument with something pretty solid and lost a fair chunk of his front wing. Look at this. So the more that... wrong one. So the more that Merckx and Merckx and Velo fight, is helping Kango close that gap in. Surely now Merckx is going to want to try and blast past Velo, but Velo doing everything he can to defend. No. Is he going to try and do it?
Merckx wants to wait for the double straight because it's 1 detection point here and 2 DRS zones. He wants to. I think he wants to make it into turn 1. If he's not able to do that because of this final corner here and a bit of dirty air that he's going to catch right there. You see, he couldn't take the corner as quickly. Slight slide there as well. But he's going to try and make it either here. I think next straight is going to be the one. He wants to follow through here, get close enough, carry the speed, and now down the inside. The AC overtake button is on. Yeah, he's going for it now. But Velo is trying to defend as well. Here we go, down the inside. He's in there. He's alongside. Merck tried to get that move. He's now on the outside. Has the better tire, though. And around the outside, he makes it work.
What a move from Merck. He committed to that into turn 3 and completed it on the outside of 4. Very, very nicely done. As Moritz has just overtaken Lucky Finger for 12. We watched that on board with Kango the whole way through. Here comes Kango to make Velo's day even worse. Can he do so? No, not quite. Just trying to utilise those softer tyres as best he can. So Velo, is he going to be able to bind this time? Will those tyres come good for him later on? We will see. But Jake is absolutely in the pouncy now. 3 seconds to the good. On he's having served his pit stop. He's on tyres that will see him to the end of the race. He's having a great old time up front and looking to make it. Go on.
I'm gonna say right now, if I was Merckx, I don't know if you remember. I think it was from the 2020 Austrian or Styrian Grand Prix, one of those two, where Lando's engineer, maybe it was 2019. I don't know. It was one of those. Lando's engineer gave him the instruction to stay ahead of Ricciardo, but only by a second, and keep Ricciardo within the DRS. That's what I would try if I was Merck. Try to keep... Oh, there goes Kango! Whoa, that's a second and a half, and it's not paying off right there, but I'm pretty sure Merck is going to look in the mirror, and he's going to like what he's seeing, because that is going to cost both of them a lot of time. At this point, it would be a bit different, and I would tell Merck now, bolt. Drive away. Do not try to keep Velo in the DRS or anything. Just drive. Drive off into the distance. Maybe challenge Jake if possible, but just go. Because these two are battling now, and that will cost them time. Kango trying before turn 11. Don't think that's a good overtaking opportunity here. This corner barely goes one way. You don't want to go side by side through here. You lose so much time, especially because of the ensuing straight here. And now Kango is going to get closer again. Not close enough for an overtake just yet. I think it's going to be the same pattern again. Double DRS, down the main straight, and then the overtake into turn 3.
I wonder whether that was a bit of avoidance from Kango there, because I think Velo had a really bad run through turns 9 and 10, which didn't set him up properly for that long sweeping left-hander. Here comes Kango. Oh, Velo had no answer to that. Blast through into third place as Kango takes the inside line for turn 1, a little bit deep for his liking. I would imagine he'll be able to hang on to that DRS again. Oh, Velo! We're saying that. Velo's
fancying it, but he doesn't have the grip on these tires. He shouldn't have. Somehow he's still out. I mean, around the outside though.
Yeah, that got it. A fair play for giving it a try. But that was a bit optimistic. Black Panther and XT still side by side. I have been trying to catch up with these two. These two have been arguing over 6th position for quite a while. Black Panther has try that again. Black Panther is the one that has won out on this time. Kasu now in the pits. I think he's had trouble as he's plummeted down through the field, now on the medium tyres. So XE and Black Panther have been having their fight. Not far behind them is Graham, whose medium tyres must be screaming by now.
They're about 60% right now. They should still be fine, but once they get to 70%, that sort of puncture territory, at that point you want to get rid of them to make sure you don't get a puncture. But yeah, they should be still fine for now, but I think either end of this lap or end of the next one, he's going to get rid of him. But yeah, just getting back to Kangaskhan and Velo, I think it wasn't the smartest thing for Velo to... I mean, it was nice to see. I'm not complaining. Please do more of that.
Wow, sorry, Graham ran over a braking board there. And it was, I think Sven was making the move, but Graham's tyres are struggling, I think.
Yeah. But when he switches to the softs, which he will... probably at the end of this lap now, he will be mighty fast. He should be marching through the field. Again, his tires will be at least 1.1 seconds faster than anyone else's. Considering how many drivers have had their tires for a few laps already, probably closer to 1.4, 1.5 seconds.
And Velo is nearly lost. Well, indeed, he's now outside of DRS range to Kango. Yeah. So Kango doing a great job.
But, sorry, inevitable for Velo really right now because Kangaskhan is just on the better tires. Indeed. But the pendulum is going to swing the other way. The mediums wear out quicker. The hards are more consistent. In fact, around this track at least, and around many tracks actually, the hard tire tends to get faster over time because of the fuel being burned, outweighing the loss in tire grip from the tire wear. So you burn more fuel, which makes the car lighter and as such faster, then the tires give up their grip. So that hard tire should be quite interesting as they're lapping Snaybolt now. But yeah, just to come back again to the battle where Velo tried to get back at Kango. From a championship standpoint, not the smartest thing to do. Velo is battling Mercked in the championship. What he wants right now is for Kango to get to Mercked and take him and get that position so Mercked doesn't get as many points. What he should have done is just let Kango go. Kango has 15 points in the championship right now. He's not a threat to either Velo or Mercked right now in the standings. It could be in the future, but right now he's not. So what he should have done is just say, okay, Kango, here you go, have the position. I'm not fighting you. Take your line. Go after Mercked. And Kango would have happily obliged, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because he is hunting down Mercked right now, gap under 2 seconds. But battling Kangaskhan so much might have hurt Velo's championship chances, at least for now.
We will see. I mean, still some distance in the championship to go. So we'll see in the long term how that pans out. But yeah, it will certainly damage the short-term prospects. Exy continuing to hound Black Panther for 6th position. The medium shod Red Bull yet to find a way past the hard shod AlphaTauri. Yeah, I have been watching.
He needs to get past.
He does really,
as soon as possible.
I have been watching that gap between Jake and Merckx slowly come down. Now Jake on the penalty board. I missed that. He was one of the few drivers that didn't have a penalty. He's now got 3 seconds on the board. There's only, 4 drivers, I think, without one, which is Kangaskhan, Sven, Ollie, 5, Sniper, and Inbounds. Oh, Moritz is out! Oh, Moritz is out. What has happened to Moritz? That's on the start-finish straight? No, he's parked it.
He's just retired in the pit lane.
Why? I mean, maybe he just gotten fed up with the race, but he was. I think he worked his way back into a point-playing position, so Moritz is out.
Yeah, maybe something on his rake broke.
Could be.
And he had to just pull into the pit lane to, make sure that because he couldn't continue driving like that. I don't know. Ultimately, we're just speculating here, but yeah, something was going on. Either he just was fed up, or yes, maybe some kind of technical issue that prevented him from continuing.
My goodness me! So that's 3 rounds in a row then that there'll be no points on the board for Moritz. That is a great shame. But still plenty of time in the championship to do something about it. So now that's going to be interesting because Kangaskhan could actually win this on penalties if he just closes it in a bit more to Jake and can maintain the gap.
Yeah, right now he should be able to get under 3 seconds within the next sort of lap or 2. Or maybe 3 laps.
Yeah, but it's whether he can hold it.
Whether he can hold it, that's going to be the question. I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we see a 2.9, 2.8 there. But I also wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the race we see a 3.1, 3.2,
Yeah.
3.3 there again. So
but
it's
also
really difficult to tell right now what's going to happen, but I think Kangokon needs to find just a bit more pace.
well, and he's going to be helped by the fact that Jake has very nearly no ERS energy. He's burned that battery down to nothing, whereas Merckx and Kangokon have around about 30% each. So, I'm wondering whether Kangokon wasn't using any there, because it looked like it was stuck on 30. But that'll certainly help. But I did notice earlier that Jake seemed to be, very low on the battery. I mean, no point hoarding it, I suppose. But now that he has got his own penalty on the board, okay, it's less than Merckx, and Merck's tyres are probably going to burn out before the end of the race. But it's a bit of a gamble. Oh, as Jake locks up there, coming into turn 3. Ooh, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, this could go either way now with the ERS situation here for Jake. This is going to be very tricky. He has to use his ERS overtake button very often. In fact, almost out of every corner he's using it now. So he has really, it seems like he has no intention to regain his ERS in any way. He just wants to use the ERS out of every corner to make sure he gets the best run. Even if it's under 10%, he doesn't mind. Interesting strategy for sure, but it doesn't seem to hurt him. He's increased the gap to Merck from 1.3 or 1.4 to already 1.7 seconds. So that middle sector did treat him quite well, and that is the fastest sector here on the track.
Oh well, 8 laps then for this strategy to play out. We'll see if Jake has played the master stroke, whether he will make it 7 winners from 7 rounds. Merckx, of course, is also going to be looking to try and make it the first driver in this season to make it 2 wins. But I mean, he'd have to overtake Jake and build up a 2-second gap to him, which, unless Jake hits the wall or hits something, it doesn't seem particularly likely. Whilst the ERS figures aren't in Jake's favour, his raw pace certainly has been. So I'm not really certain Merck's got quite what he needs to overcome that deficit. Kangokon is just outside where he needs to be, literally 0.3 of a second behind where he needs to be, unless, of course, Kango picks up his own penalty.
Yeah, for Merck, it's going to get even more difficult because just this very lap, he's got 2 warnings, and he got both of them this lap. So he was warnings free altogether in the first 21 laps of this race, and he got 2 in this lap. As Kangokon now got a 3-second time penalty. That should give Merck a little bit of breathing space, and certainly Jake a lot of breathing space. But yeah, Merck struggling. I'm quickly looking at the warnings for Jake. He's got 1 additional, so he's got 1 more free, one extra shot, if you will. But that's about it. If he gets 2 more warnings in the last 7 laps, then he's going to get 6 seconds, and at that point he would have 1 more second in terms of penalties than Merck. Never mind, Merck got his 3rd, so Merck is now on 8. Apologies for the commentator's curse right there. Really didn't mean to, but as we mentioned earlier, with great power comes great responsibility, and I wasn't responsible enough, I guess.
Well, I mean, you're not picking on one person at least. You're commentator cursing everybody. So.
Yes. I don't discriminate.
Let's face it, it's one of the perks of the job. We do have that power, and I defy any commentator to argue that one. Well, I mean that was looking like he was going to shuffle up the order a bit. For some reason, I'm not getting a text come up to say this person's got a penalty anymore. That notification seems to have stopped. Although if I change the detail to penalty, I can see that most of the field, other than Sven, Ollie and Sniper, and Inbound as well, so just 4 drivers out of the remaining 16 without a penalty on the board. Yeah,
it needs to be said, Sniper is on 2 warnings, Sven is on 2 warnings, Ollie is keeping it incredibly clean. Not even one warning. And the same is true for Inbounds Cupid. So they're the two cleanest drivers today.
Are Renault immune to warnings or something?
Yeah, there's Sven's. He just got his third there.
Oh, there we go.
But yeah, Ollie and Inbounds, the two Renault drivers, interestingly. So
Yeah.
I think team leadership has pushed them through a very rigorous course of how not to corner cut and how to not get warnings, let alone penalties. And I think they've taken that to heart, and honestly, that's a good thing. Because Ollie, at the very least, I mean, Inbounds Cupid will probably not get all too many positions. He just got one off of Snable in the pit lane, but Ollie, he might get at least one from Sven here. If he gets a bit closer to XC and Black Panther, Black Panther might be a little bit far away, but 6 seconds for XC. So he only needs to gain around 3 seconds on XC, and he would get 2 places.
Well. So, 5 to go at the end of this one. And then a winner will be decided, whether it is Jake in the AlphaTauri, Mert in... Well, I'd say it will be. It's likely to be one of our top 3, but we've seen how easily someone can make a mistake, and suddenly there's 3 wheels on the wagon. And even if you're determined to try and push on, the game wouldn't let you. I wonder if has Mert picked up damage, because he's suddenly dropping off the pace, or he's just decided to go into bring it home mode, which you could understand with 8 seconds of penalties on the board. I'm not even attempting to try and calculate who's going to finish where at this point.
Yeah, I think what happened is that these medium tires are now dropping off. I think it's nothing. He doesn't have any visible damage. I don't think he has any damage. But the gap between Merc and Kangokon has stayed the same at about 1.5 to 2 seconds. Come down slightly, but the gap between Jake and Merc is the one that really increased. And I think that's because the medium tires are really struggling now at this point. They're really getting to the point where they don't offer much grip anymore. And the hards for Jake are just paying dividends right now. He played the long game, and the long game rewarded him.
Yeah, absolutely it has. It's not like he's being slow with his pace either. He's using all his ERS energy. We haven't seen him quite hit 0, but he's been keeping that ERS count very, very low, but it's worked really well for him. So fair play to him as he comes around the last couple of corners, complete lap 25, 4 to go.
Yeah, it's an interesting strategy that I personally wouldn't try that, but then again, I'm not an F1 esports driver, so
True enough.
I wouldn't even think of that kind of strategy. But hey, if it works, don't fix it. It's that simple. Yeah. And it seems to be working for Jake. And it might be something that he may have found out in F1 esports competition, seeing it from someone else. Maybe he tried it himself and it worked well. Either way, I mean, it does offer you the ability to really maximize every corner exit, and as such, maximize your top speed at the end of every straight. And there's a lot of straights around this track. Some are shorter, some are longer, and you really want to make sure. As we have a car spun, that is Ollie.
Oh no! There he is on the exit of the final turn. He's had trouble. Got him going again. I don't know that did he lose a position there? I don't think he did.
No, he was right behind Sven. He lost about 12, 13 seconds. He was probably battling with Sven. I wouldn't be surprised. He got so Inbounds Cupid unlapped himself from Ollie. But other than that, he didn't lose a position, but he's now being hounded by Graham, who's in P10. However, he could even let him go and still get the position because of the penalties. But only 3 seconds, and that's a runner on the soft, so you really don't want to let Graham go, because he might still have some life left in these tires.
But we're seeing on the display there that Graham is actually getting the fuel warning light come on. I mean, I know we're getting to the point where the fuel tank is near enough empty anyway, but you don't want that coming on earlier than you'd plan to. Yeah. I wonder if there's that much life left in those soft tires. He's probably been pushing quite hard on them. They're 8 laps in. Although it does look like Cassie's also...
There should still be a little left in them. I think if I just quickly try the calculation in my head, they lost about 12 laps, so they should be right now as he comes across the line. What is 3/4 of 70? That would be 52.5. So they should be at around 52, 53%, roughly. Again, plus minus 2-3%, depending on driving style, fuel as well. Yeah, the fuel would actually make it a bit lower. Driving style can make it lower or higher. Track temperature should make it a bit lower as well, because it's less likely that these soft tires overheat. So he should be around 50% right now. So they're getting to the point where they are starting to lose a little bit of grip, but they should still be all right.
Well, it's the closest battle we have, is in fact the only battle we have in the remaining in the field, with 2 laps to go. So we'll stick with it for a little while. Graham is doing what he can against Ollie. The Renault positioning himself exactly where he needs to be to keep the racing point behind him. As the Renaults are, I think they're close together on track, but they're a lap apart, realistically speaking.
But it's a good strategy here for Inbounds Cupid to give Ollie some DRS to make sure that Ollie can defend against Graham. That's actually not too stupid of an idea. That's actually quite smart. I really like that. The two Renaults are working together. However, Inbounds Cupid is going to have to let him by at some point. Although, does he really care about a 5-second penalty for ignoring blue flags? I don't think he does. So,
unlikely.
Just giving your teammates some DRS here and some slipstream. Now they're ghosting through each other. That can confuse a driver very much, but Ollie makes a good job here. And look at how far Graham is already. It's half a second between the two. And now Graham has to get through the ghosted car. It's always a bit of a distraction trying to get through a lapped car like this. And especially if it's fighting like Inbounds Cupid is here. That can really throw a driver off. Graham doing a good job, as did Ollie. But that's something I've always struggled with a little bit. Good job there from both drivers to navigate that quite well. But yeah, that should help Ollie, as we are now on the final lap of the race, at least for the leaders. The top 5 are on the final lap as well. Hold on. No, actually, I think Vino is on the final lap as well, but that's because he has been lapped once, and he is behind Jake right now. But he is on his final lap at least, so he can. That's one thing I always like. If you're getting lapped, at the very least you can now use your fuel to -1. So even if the fuel lamp does pop up and is red, right now it doesn't matter.
Very true. As we see Jake working his way through turn 11 and 12, the final time in this race. 2 attempts at this one. It's will favour some drivers and disadvantage others, but there was no way the first attempt could have continued with the lobby issues that we were having. I couldn't even get back into the lobby, so at least we have a stream this time around. Last two.
As mentioned, not the first time I've done a radio cast.
But it's 7 from 7, and it's your winner here in Australia is Jake W in the AlphaTauri. Coming home on track in second is going to be Merckx. Kango Con is going to inherit second. There he is. Velo actually inherits the last podium spot due to penalties. There is J. Cole, not on the podium, and throws his car into the wall.
X is out.
Oh no, X is out. He's out too early. He's lost it coming down towards turn 13. We're likely to see him in a minute, as Ollie is going to come past the stricken Red Bull. There he is.
Oh wow.
Oh no, Xy. He's had a fairly solid race all race long, but in the final moments of the final lap has come a cropper. So that's given everybody from, I think it was 7th or 6th or something like that downwards, another position. So Jake 5, Black Panther 6, Sven 7, Ollie is going to cross the line in 8th. Graham will take 9th position. Kasu, from his early troubles, is going to round out the points paying positions. Lucky Finger 11th, and Sniper, I think, is the last car on the lead lap.
No, well, XC will be the last car on the lead lap, so to speak, but
strictly speaking, yeah.
But very unlucky that there's exactly 13 cars on the lead lap. If he was 12th, he would have gotten a point.
True.
But he falls down all the way to P13 here, and as such, XC with that last lap crash No points for him. Very, very unfortunate.
And Graham, the driver of the day, according to the game.
He started P15. He went up to, what was it in the end now? P8, P9? There's a couple of positions gained there. Not too bad.
Yeah. Tonzilla lookalike there, being used for Jake W. But, well, I mean, you can't take it away from Jake. That was an absolutely flawless performance. That was absolutely spot on from beginning to end. There really was no criticism there at all. Got the strategy absolutely right, and the pace was there to back it up. Brilliantly done. But there it is. Without Stewart's intervention, Jake takes the top spot. KangoCon second, Velo third, Merc fourth, J. Cole fifth, Black Panther sixth, Sven seventh, Ollie 8, Graham 9, Casu rounds out the top 10, Lucky Finger in 11th, Sniper 12, Exy 13, Vino 14, Inbounds 15, Snowball 16th. We lost Moritz, Crusader, and Mart Minier before the end of the race. Wow! Well, that was pretty mad. I think it's fair to say.
We had a restart. We had a last lap crash. We had a bunch of battles. A tire strategy that was really, really interesting to see play out. And ultimately, I mean, it feels like real F1 because we had a winner who was just absolutely dominating.
Speaking of, Jake has come to join us in the box. Can you hear us, Jake?
Hello. I hear you.
Well, I mean, what can we say? You played that absolutely perfectly. Talk us through it from your side.
I wasn't too sure if the hards would be the better strategy because obviously we had fresh tires at the start after that restart. They were kind of like no pace until like the last 5 laps where I pulled away from KangoCon and Vapor, I think it was. But yeah, the penalty I got was just from me being tired. I just lost concentration for a split second, and I literally lost it on the most easy corner somewhere in sector 1. And yeah, I was just being consistent every lap, and yeah, that was it really. Just played my own race, set the pace when the people were behind me. I wasn't pushing too hard because I didn't want to get a penalty, of course. So yeah, it was one of them management races.
I mean, so did you feel under pressure at all, or did you think that you'd really have to kind of work to maintain the lead, or were you confident that the win was going to come your way?
I don't really know these guys at all, like in terms of their pace. So at the start, when I had a decent lead, it was a little bit nerve-wracking. Of course, like any race start is a little bit nerve-wracking. So yeah, I was a bit like, I don't know if they're going to catch me or I'm going to be able to maintain this lead, but I managed to, surprisingly. So I'm happy with that. I don't really know if these guys practice a lot, but I didn't do too much. I started at 7 p.m.
Goodness me. Well, what can we say to that? I mean, you've made quite an impression since joining the league back in Russia. So you've got a 4th, a 5th, and now a win on the board. Next time out is France. So, what are your thoughts towards Paul Ricard?
I don't think I'm yet to drive it on this game. So, yeah, it was just I'll have to put in a little bit more work and see what comes of it. I honestly have no idea what my pace would be like there, but I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure you'll be fine as well. Best of luck for that, and well done on the win. Thank you very much, Jake W.
Thank you.
We also have another of our podium sitters, earning it by penalties, but a podium it is nonetheless. Velo, welcome to you.
Hello.
Well, you look like you had quite a bit of work to do. You had a cracking start in the first attempt of the race. Sadly, didn't quite go your way on the restart. Talk us through it from your side. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, actually, the lights went out too quickly and I lost 2 positions on the start, and after that I couldn't catch Merc or the Haas, and after they went to the medium strat I knew immediately it was game over, but still managed to get the podium, so I'm pretty happy about the race.
I mean, fair play for that. It must have been, you must have been quite disappointed when the first lobby had to be called. Was Australia a track you were looking forward to?
Yes, absolutely. I actually probably more my favorite tracks, as I said last week also. still stand to that point, but yeah,
That's the
it
way
is what it is.
It is what it is, indeed. What about Paul Ricard next time?
I practiced it last week, I think, and really enjoyed the track, so looking forward to next week.
Excellent. Might you be our first double winner of the season? We will look forward to that. Best of luck for that for next week and for the rest of the season. Thank you very much, Velo.
Thank you, bye-bye.
I've got a couple of other drivers from throughout the field. Black Panther, hello to you. Oh, just about hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, wow, you're very, very quiet, sir. We'll try and hear what you're saying. So again, you look like you had quite a busy race for a while. How did it go from your side?
I mean, I can't complain, to be fair. I think I got the maximum out of what I could have achieved today. I had a fun battle there with Exy and with Gasak, so GG to those for keeping it clean. But yeah, I mean, I was sweating a lot, to be fair, to get away from Exy, because he was all the time like right behind my back, and I know that I had to push, because if I make one mistake, then he would have overtaken me. So yeah, I can't complain with this result.
Excellent stuff. Were you hoping for a good result coming into Melbourne? Is it a track that normally does well for you?
I wasn't like really prepared to have this good of a result. Like normally I spin once or twice on this track, but I had quite a good setup, so I'm quite happy with the result today.
And Paul Ricard next time out. What about that track? Does that work well for you?
I love the track, but I'm very slow at it, so I'm not gonna expect wonders for it. So let's see what will happen. I know that there will be a lot of penalties for sure, so I'm gonna try to maybe get an advantage of that.
Fair play. Good luck with that, and for the rest of the season, thank you very much, Black Panther.
Thank you.
And finally, we have the head of the PC side, not on the podium this time, but it's always good to speak to him. Jake, are you with us?
Certainly am. I think that third and fourth place streak has decided to come to a bit of an end, so it was bound to happen at one point, but
I
was happy.
You did say that it was unlikely to carry on, but it's even still, it was fifth, I believe. Was it fifth for you in the end? Yeah, so you're not exactly that far behind it. Certainly a decent haul of points. I'm not going to try and do the maths as to whether you're still in the championship lead. So still well in the fight though.
He is.
Oh, well, there you go.
By 2 points.
Voice of authority doth speak. So there you go. Leading the championship. You've got the winner Monaco under your belt. Was this what you were expecting coming into this season?
To be honest, I thought there were going to be a few more guys that were possibly ahead of me at some point. I think it's just more the case I've been keeping it as consistent as I can, sort of trying to keep it in that top 5. So, in all honesty, I am quite surprised that I am leading the championship at the moment. Even then, by 2 points, I think I just got a bit lucky tonight. I think Merck's having quite a lot of penalties, so I thought for certain I was losing that championship lead tonight, and somehow I've managed to hold it. So I'm not going to complain.
And what about Paul Ricard?
A personal favourite of mine, I would say. I do enjoy the circuit a lot. It's one of those where I don't know. Just for me, it feels like it just flows like really nicely. And usually the racing around there in real life not good, but certainly in terms of league racing, it's probably one of the better ones to watch. So and to drive in. So I'm looking forward to it next week.
No argument there from me at all. So good. Best of luck for Paul Ricard and for the remainder of the season. Thank you very much, Jake Cole.
Thank you, lads.
And that is going to bring an end to tonight's festivities. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout the stream. Always a pleasure to have you along for the ride. Thank you very much, Austin, for keeping me on the straight and narrow and for trying to get a word in edgeways for most of the race. It's always a difficult job, but you handle it well, sir.
I always try.
As mentioned, next time out, it is France's Classic of Paul Ricard on the calendar. So do join us same time, same place next week for round number 8. Until then, thank you very much and good night.